everybody, welcome to video number 6 we're on now. Thank you so much again to everybody that's been doing the last few days. I know that number 4 was a bit of a quad burner. Yesterday was quite a lot of core work, so today we are bringing it back to the hips and the stretches. This is going to be a really good one for anybody that's sitting at home feeling that tension in their hips, in that lower back, and wants to give it a little bit of release. I've got some cool stretches for you, so when you're ready we're going to start this standing. You don't get away from the vinyasas. Oh look, who's made an appearance? My little helper, Steve. So come on up to standing. We are going to start in any foot position that feels nice for you. So this could be hip width, this could be feet together, it could be just a couple of inches apart, whatever feels particularly nice. And finding your mountain pose, we want to squeeze and engage the glutes, draw some energy up the thighs, pull belly button in, roll the shoulders up, back and down, and let the arms hang with the palms facing forward. Take a breath here. Find energy. Inhale, lift the hands up high overhead, find palms together, squeeze the butt hard, take a baby back bend, let the shoulders drop behind you. Inhale, rise up tall, take the right wrist with the left hand, breathe and pull the arm up to the ceiling, find length, and then exhale, take a little stretch over to the left side, drawing that arm with you, opening up rib cage and waist. Inhale, back up, change hand, change wrist. Inhale, draw that arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, release the hands up high. Exhale, take them wide into a forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, draw the hands up the shins, flat back extension, draw shoulder blades together. Exhale, bend the knees and fold, relax head, neck, shoulders. Finding that hands flat to the floor, take as much knee bend as you need to, and then 2 long steps back into high plank. First time here, give me about 3 deep breaths just to hold this position. Inhale, draw the scapula together. Exhale, keep hips just lower than shoulders. Inhale, draw the chest away from your mat. Exhale, bend and find your knees and the front of the feet to the floor. Coming down through, modified chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, pull shoulder blades together, lift the chest and rib cage. Exhale, tuck over knees, toes, hips, push into your first down dog of today. And just settle here for me. Shoulder blades together, pushing the chest towards your thighs. As much knee bend as feels right in your hamstrings, or a little more length to get that stretch down the back of the leg. Always tipping the pelvis up to the ceiling so we've got a nice straight strong spine. We're going to take that inhale, bend the knee, crouch. Exhale, spring right leg forward, just outside the right hand. Option to come down onto back knee if it feels right today. Option, we're going to take this a little stronger, just keeping the back leg lifted to start with. With the back knee lifted, trying to get that back leg straight, drop your hips lower to feel the stretch. And then by flattening, left hand to floor, inhale up the right arm, rotate towards front knee. We're going to move through this stretch now today. Inhale, wrap the rib cage under. Feel a little bit of a stretch coming up into the glute as well as that back leg. And then exhale as you lower the hand, lower the back knee to the floor if it's not there already. Working the hips down in your lizard lunge and lifting the chest. I want you to pull the hips forward towards the floor. Relax onto the hands, maybe walk them a little further forward. Moving through this stretch, you should feel it now, right along the front of the hip flexor on that back leg. Keep exhaling the hips down, releasing some tension. Hi Steve, he's back, he wants to join us today. And then when you're ready, releasing the right hand and taking the right foot to a little 45-degree turn out. by turning that foot and keeping your weight rested on left hand, push the right knee out a little further and drop your hips a little lower. Feel how that stretch moves. We're coming more into inner thigh, internal hip rotators as you push that knee out, support with the elbow, exhale, lower the hips. And the last change, you can take this front foot, turn it all the way so it's side on. Take your hips and roll them down towards the floor so your body completely turns and opens, keeping that front foot planted. And if you make it, top arm comes all the way into the lower back to pull the shoulder, rotate the hips, work the hips and leg further onto the floor. Feel like that stretch has completely moved into outer glute. Hold for me, one breath. Little more length. You can always move this leg a little further along. Don't worry if you're up here and your hips aren't on the floor yet, that's absolutely fine. We're going to get into this pose. When you're ready to come out of it, take the top arm, wrap it all the way back over, find the floor. Turn the front foot and lift the hips back and up until both hands and foot are flat. Tuck back toes to lift the knee and push straight into high plank for me. On knees or toes, come all the way down to the floor. Flatten the feet. Inhale, baby cobra or full cobra, lift the chest. Exhale over knees and over toes. Find your down dog. And take a little stretch off in those shoulders for me. Bring the shoulder blades together behind you. And then exhale, push the hips up and back. Inhale to bend both knees, draw them down to the floor. Exhale to spring left foot. Good, with the left foot forward and the hands flat. Breathe in, lift the chest. Option to go back knee down, option to stay back knee lifted. Exhale and rotate towards that front knee. Lift the top arm and drop the hips. If you're lifted with me, keep thinking, pull up the quad, up the kneecap, rotate chest and ribcage further. Exhale, release the arm, release the back knee, foot flattens, and firstly just think about working the hips forward and down. So forward and down first, feeling length up the hip flexor, a little lift in the chest. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale, work the chest a little lower. Inhale, flatten right hand to the floor. Take the left foot out to 45 degrees. Using elbow to guide you, push the knee out. Turn the body ever so slightly and just see if you can get this hip flexor lower towards the floor. Exhale, lower into the stretch. Inhale, find a little tension in the quad, little squeeze in the butt. Exhale, lower, release. Inhale, turning that front foot all the way out to the side. We're going to rotate onto the side of the calf, side of the leg, and turn the hips more to the side. If you're here to start with and your hips are still quite high, that's absolutely okay. You should just be getting this one felt inside the glute med, the outer part of the hip and the butt. If you make it all the way down and you can lie the leg and the hip onto the floor, then take the top arm and wrap it into the lower back. Enjoy that lovely stretch. Take 2 breaths for me here. Really working into all parts of the hip with these lunge variations. On your last exhale breath, bring the hand all the way over the top. Turn the foot, turn the hips, let them lift. Exhale, pull the back knee up. Push through strong high plank and take a vinyasa. A little stronger this time. Challenge yourself to keep your body off the floor as you tuck the toes and lift the chest. Exhale, roll back through the feet. Find that down dog. Hang out here for a moment. You should have felt that one quite strong in the shoulders, so it might feel nice just to take a little twist in your down dog today. Rotate the shoulders one at a time. Give them a little push to the floor. And then inhale, knees and crouch. Exhale, we're going to spring right leg in through to swan. So I want you to land knee to elbow and then outer part of the calf onto the floor. And there you have it, you're in swan position. So swan, we've got the knee and the foot forward. We're rested on the outer part of the calf. If you don't like this position and your hips aren't comfortable, the option is 90-90. So just sitting their hips back down, bending both the knees in, so they're at a 90-degree angle, and then resting and relaxing here. We're still going to get the same movement, we're still going to get the same stretch, it's just going to be slightly less if anybody's super tight in their hips. So if you're with me in swan, forward with the chest, or if you're in 90-90, what we're going to start by doing is squaring your chest and your pelvis towards the front of your mat. Everything should face the same direction as your mat. So the hips are pulling round to square the pelvis. The chest is up and lifted. And we can just use fingertips to floor here to find a little back extension. So you think hips push forward, breastbone lifts up, shoulder blades pull down and together. Inhale, find that extension, that lift. And then exhale, walk the hands forward. Bye, Steve. And all the way down to the floor. Lower the forehead or the forearms, whatever feels right for you. If this is enough, stay for 5 deep breaths. If you can walk your hands a little lower, maybe relax the forehead to the floor, then do so. If you can walk your hands all the way out and get your chest to the floor without releasing the back leg or taking away from the stretch, then relax on down there. Think inhale to hold the stretch. Exhale to soften the hips and butt a little lower onto the heel. Inhale to hold. Exhale, release tension out of the upper back and the shoulders. Inhale, hold. Exhale, let it go. Inhale to walk the hands back up and in. Taking them to your shoulder width apart, I want you to tuck the back foot under. If you're in 90-90, just move through to plank any way that feels right for you. If you're with me, back knee tucks, back knee lifts, and as the hips push up, your front leg meets the back. Vinyasa. Exhale to the floor. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll. Up in your down dog, little shake from side to side in the shoulders. Maybe move the hips and the legs into it now. This movement, just taking alternating knee bends to wrap your shoulders a little further through. And then inhaling, bend the knees to crouch. Exhale, spring left leg, knee into elbow. And then outer part of the calf down to the floor. Swan. Option again. Just drop the hips to the floor, bend the knees in, 90-90. We're still going to work through the same stretch of turning the shoulders and hips and then lowering down over the front knee. But ideally, if you can, we're up in swan pose. So the hips are lifted, you're working the pelvis forward and round, so this front half of the pelvis is working towards your heel. And as you lift your chest, find fingertips to floor, take one big breath for extending the spine, growing tall. And then one deep breath to walk yourself forward, keeping the back leg as long as possible to your mat. Maybe find hands to the floor, maybe find elbows and forearms. If it still feels good, see if you can rest your forehead. And if you make it all the way, you've got about 3 more breaths here with the chest down. Hands reach as long as they can in front of you. Exhale, release any tension you're holding in the hips and the butt. Inhale if you can and you want more stretch. The option is to take this back foot and just lengthen it a little bit longer away. That should just increase the stretch you're getting and feeling in outer part of hip and butt. Inhale and hold. Exhale, take that tension, let it go. Last deep breath in. We're going to walk the hands back up. Find the hands at about shoulder width. Good news is one more vinyasa to go. Make it a beautiful one. Put it all together. Find that fluid movement. Inhale, tuck back toes. Exhale, push through. High plank. Go, go, go. Knees or toes. One fluid movement. Up and back into down dog. And there we hold. I want you to walk your legs in to meet your hands. Walk your hands in to meet your legs. Settle at about the centre of your mat in a little forward fold. You're going to take your feet out wide, just wider than your hips, and take your toes and turn them just maybe 45 degrees or less out to the side. Toes wider than heels. I turn side on just for your purposes. Exhale, straighten the knees as much as you can. Find a little forward fold here, stretch the hamstrings. As you draw the chest down towards the thighs, think about pulling up the kneecaps. Enjoy that little moment's hamstring stretch and forward fold, just as a release for your lower back. And then exhale, we're going to come into a sumo squat. So I want you to draw the hips down and bend the knees wide until your chest lifts and your hips are just lower than your heart. Bring elbows onto thighs and hold here. This is the option. It's absolutely fine. If you want to hold here for about a minute, it's going to be a bit of a burner for your legs. If you can, then we drop all the way down into our Hindi squat. So the hips are released. We're getting less work in the legs, but you're feeling a lovely big hip stretch in the inner thigh. My trick is, if you're not quite in Hindi squat but you're close, roll up part of your mat, pop your heels on the lifted part of the mat, pop your toes lower, and it should allow you a little bit more space in your Hindi squat. So wherever you are with me, just draw the palms together, place the elbows inside your knees, and by pushing your palms together, I want you to think, inhale, lift the chest, exhale, draw the knees wider. Inhale, lift the chest, think about straightening off the spine. Exhale, push the knees wide. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, take right hand to the floor, keeping the elbow propped to knock the knee out. Exhale, left hand to the ceiling, reach up high. Inhale, lower, change sides, set elbow. Exhale, release. Inhale, twist and open. Exhale, release. Inhale, draw the hands to the floor. Pick up the hips back into that forward fold. Straighten off the legs and work them in to about hip width again. Exhale, bend the knees and curl the spine. Draw forehead towards knees. Let everything hang. Inhale, bend the knees lower just to lift the chest. Exhale, fly the arms up, palms together, down to your heart space. Wonderful work, everybody. Super job. Thank you so much to everybody that joins in on these videos. Find them on my YouTube channel now. They're going to be way better quality and easier to watch. And have a wonderful day. Don't let this being inside get you down. We're still blessed. We can still walk outside. We can still do this kind of beautiful movement. We've got social media, so we can still stay in contact with each other. It's a wonderful time for going inside because we can't go outside. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. So take care of yourselves, and I will see you all tomorrow. Lots of love.